Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at some stocks I am currently watching here that I want to tell you guys about because I think these will be winners in the long term. Let's go over the first one right now, which is SoFi Technologies. If you guys don't know what SoFi Technologies is, it is a fintech bank that is based out of San Francisco, California. As we look at the 6-month chart, we can see SoFi hit a peak right here of $18.42. Now, remember, this company is expanding aggressively. What I really like about this interactive brokerage account that I have through Webull is we can easily view what their total revenue was. We can see their revenue continues to go up, which is impressive because that's what you want to see in a company, right? We can also see net income, which has continued to increase. We can see the total revenue, like we were just on, is increasing. Operating income, unfortunately, they don't have that here, but we can also look quarterly and annually at this. If we want to look annually at total revenue, we can see how high they are hitting on total revenue. Notice they haven't updated this for 2024. They will soon. So if we want to look at the balance sheet, it's really easy to look at. I wish they would have updated these numbers because a lot of other sites already have these analysis on there. What's really helpful about using Webull as a brokerage account is we can go to order flow and we can understand where are the inflows and the outflows going. We can notice just yesterday on February 21st, we can notice the inflows and outflows of what the large scale orders were coming in the last 5 days. We can see on the 24th, we can see on the 14th, it was at 25.17. And notice we can see the market was selling off here, right here on the 19th, the 20th, and then the 21st, people actually were starting to buy into it. Now, we can look at the analysis here of what people are saying. Now, remember, this isn't financial advice. This is just what analysts are thinking. So we have a 44.44% hold on this, and then we have analyst targets on this, which is really nice because people are saying this share will increase at some point. Remember, keep in mind when investing, you can lose capital. That's why we have to do our own independent research. Now let's come back here to the order flows. So I want to show you guys something here. If we come down here to year to date, we can see where this chart has been going. We can see the highs and we can see the lows. We're actually right now at 1467. Now let's go ahead and look at the 5-year. Even though this company hasn't been around that long, we are just starting to roll around into the 5th year of this company because they IPO'd in 2020. So we can see the mild spikes now on the technicals. We can see this is impressive, right? We're starting to build our way back up, which is nice. We can see down here at the very bottom, back in, let's see that date, that was on December 9th, 2022. We hit a low of $4.24 a share. That's pretty crazy because we could have bought 100 shares just for under $500. Today, we are sitting at almost $1,500 since that price for 100 shares. So we can go to the back here of the very highest peaks of this company. We actually hit a high of $28.26, and let's see what date that was. That was back on the 21st of February. That was back on February 5th, 2021, and we hit $28.26. You can see back here, when they IPO'd back in 2020, what the price was. We started at $11 a share, and it has been a bumpy road for SoFi, but I'm happy to see them increasing their margins and grow as a company. Now, the next site that I'm going to take you guys really quick to view up-to-date financials is TradingView. We're going to dive into that site right now. All right, this is one of my favorite websites to use. It's TradingView, and they give you an in-depth analysis of what is going on with the company's financials. This is up to date, so we can see exactly where this company was going. Revenue was quite impressive for this year. We can see we're at 1.01 billion, quite impressive, with the net margin at 32.99%, with net revenue at 332.47 million, which is nice to see. So like I was saying before in the Webull chart, right, it was not up to date because it only had up to 2023, but we can see the revenue has steadily gone up. That was quarterly. Now let's look at annually. Notice they are increasing annual profitability. The revenue is increasing. You can go look at revenue to profit conversion here. Let's look at annually. We can see they are increasing their income slowly, which is nice to see. We can see the breakdown of revenue, what it is: lending, financial services, technology platforms. We can see where that is right here. We can also see where their estimations were, right? They were beating on the estimates. We can see their next quarter is going to be here on May 5th, 2025. Notice we can see that their actual revenue was quite high. We can see their estimate, so they beat estimations, which is why I think this is a good buy for long term. This is also their earnings, where people were estimating it, so they beat estimates again. Overall, the company is growing nicely. I like where this is going. We can also see where the statements of this company was. If we wanted to look at that, I don't actually pay for TradingView, but if you wanted to, you can view it up to date on this. There's a few more things that you can look at, like the balance sheet, the cash flow. Obviously, you can look at the statistics, you can look at the dividends. Unfortunately, they don't pay dividends. You can see the earnings and you can see the revenue. Now let's move on to the next one here, which is the forecast of where this is going to be. As of this recording, when the markets closed on February 21st, we were sitting at $14.67. We can see over the next year the projections of where this company is going to be. They are thinking on the high end $20 and on the low end $6. We can see analysis rating is neutral with a strong buy at 5 and a strong sell at 4. People don't really know what to think of this company. Now, again, we can also look at the EPS right here, where they beat estimations, which was nice to see. And then we can also look at the revenue quarterly. Now, remember, I always like to look annually because that's where you can get full idea of where they are from year to year. We can see they have been steadily increasing their revenue. Now let's jump back onto Webull to talk about a few more stocks. My next stock to watch here is actually through Robinhood Markets. It's Hood. Why is this so impressive? This company was extremely profitable, as we can see here on the total revenue. It's nice that Webull actually has the up-to-date numbers on the platform. We can see the numbers at 1.01 billion. Quite impressive there. So we can see they have shot up in Q4. We can also look at their net income and operating income. This company is very impressive to watch build as they grow their credit card company, and they also grow into a financial company similar to SoFi. These are two financial companies you want to keep an eye on. We can look at their balance sheets, where their assets are versus their liabilities. We can look at debt to asset. I'll let you guys pause the video if you want to see that. You can look at that quarterly, annually. We can look at the cash flow. Where is this company actually investing their money? Financial part of it, operating, of course, quarterly, annually, and we can see the peers, where actually people are ranking this. And then, of course, we have some custom stuff, so we can look at actually what they were doing in total revenue. So as of the recording of this video, the market's closed and we are sitting at $51.60 a share. So we can see that people are actually buying and selling this in quite heavy amounts, right? These are large scale orders in the last 5 days. We can see those amounts right there, and we can see that people were actually buying it there on the 21st of February. So that's nice to see. We can also look at the analysis here. People are wanting to hold this stock for the long term. The interesting thing that I noticed here, and this is also on TradingView, is we can see the high estimate for this is 105 and the average is 68.59 and the low is $39 a share, and we can see it's currently sitting at 51.60. I actually own shares in this company and my average price was $22.89. I bought it in July of 2024 and I have been a very happy shareholder, to say the least. So it's a company to watch. Make sure you guys add it to your watch list because it is growing like crazy. Let's move on to the next stock. My next stock here is the famous Palantir Technologies, based out of Denver, Colorado. I know this company well. I've been following it for quite some time. I do own several shares in here, and this is another company I would keep in mind for the long term. Now, I always like to look at total revenue. This is a very profitable company. We are looking at the 6-month time frame here on the chart, and we can see this company has shot up like crazy. We can see the high was 125.41 and now we are sitting at 101.35. But regardless of the price, I think it's a good buy. I think that the company has continued to increase revenue. I mean, we can see how profitable it was in 2024. Now remember, we can also look at this quarterly. They are almost at $1 billion. Very impressive company. I think it's a buy long term. Operating income we can see right there. We can also see the net income, and of course balance sheets. I always like to look at annually versus quarterly because I think that gets you a good idea of where the company is year by year. We can also look at the liabilities and then debt to assets. Quite an impressive company. We can look at the cash flow, of course investing, and then financing right there. Of course, I leave that on annually because quarterly, it's impressive, but we also want to look at where we are because we are at the start basically of a new year in 2025. So we want to keep that in mind as we look forward. We can see where they are ranking it, obviously, and we're not going to get into too much of that. We'll look at the order flow. We can see this has been quite interesting to see the large scale orders in the last 5 days. We can see here how many people were selling out of this company and also buying it on the 18th, but again, selling out on the 21st and then on the 19th. We can see where the analysis for this company is. This is the interesting part for me. Looking at the analysis here, we can see the average price target is 141. We can see an average of 87.38 and a low of $18, which I think is just crazy. But overall sentiment for this is a 58.33% hold. I think it's a good hold long term. We are going to skyrocket, it seems like, into the future if this company continues to be profitable. That's my opinion on it. Let's move on to the next one. This company actually caught my attention within the last few days. It's Grab Holdings. This is a company that is based out of Southeast Asia. It's very interesting. So we can actually go to the profile here. They are actually listed in Singapore, but they are listed on the NASDAQ exchange, which is nice to see. What caught my attention about this wasn't just the price per share, but was actually how profitable this company is. Every single year, this company has been increasing in profit. I think it's a good long-term hold. Obviously, it's not going to be get rich quick, but it's a company worth investing into and keeping up with. I'm sure you have all heard the news on this company. So many people are buying it, but it is a long-term hold for me. Remember, we are looking at the 6-month chart here. We can see the price spiked actually to $5.72. That was quite high, and now we are sitting over this recording $4.90. Now let's look at the max for this just so we can understand where this was coming from. So let's scroll all the way to the very back. So the high for this company was back on 2021 at $18.11, quite some time ago. Let's look at the 5-year because that's always a nice projection. We can see where this company has been going. You can see the price of this has dropped dramatically since its IPO, which the IPO was back here on December 4th, 2020. We can see where the price action was, and we can see where this company has been going over the last 5 years. It's crazy to think this company has been steadily growing and growing and growing. I'm happy to see it. I also think that analysts agree with this. As we can see, the average price target for the high end is $8 and average is $5.76, and everyone thinks it's a strong buy. Keep this on your watch list as I think it's something that we want to look at long term. Let's move on to my final stock here and we'll wrap it up right there. My final stock here to watch is, of course, Nvidia. Everybody talks about Nvidia, and why is that? They are the leading chip maker of the world right now, and obviously that will change in the future, but at the moment they are the main ones. Why do I like them long term? Revenue. I always look at revenue, and we can see the revenue has continued to increase. Look at that, $60.92 billion in 2024. And as of the recording of this video, they are going to be reporting their 4th quarter earnings here on Wednesday. So keep your eyes peeled on that. We can see quarterly, they have continued to impress every single quarter, which is what I like to see, but I am so excited for this company long term. If we look at the balance sheet here, we can see quarterly, they have continued to increase with assets, right? Annually, again, they have continued to increase, and cash flow, look at that, skyrocketing, just insane, right? Quarterly, insane. So good of a company. We can see the order flow. Nobody has been selling this stock, even though the price has been moving all over like crazy on the 6-month chart. People continue to buy this stock every single day. And if we look at the analysis, we can see it is a strong buy at 75.81%. Remember, not financial advice. Do your own homework on this. This is just from data that I am reading off of Webull. We can see the analysis price target is at $220 at a high and an average at $172.22 and a low of $120. We're currently sitting at $134.43. I think it's an excellent buy. I think you guys should add this to your watch list. Buy it if you can, hold it for the long term, don't trade it. Let me know if you have any questions or want to talk about some specific stocks. Please drop it down below. And as always, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.